Hello, everyone. Hello to one, to all who listen. How are you all doing? And I'm doing fine myself. I hope you're all doing good. And today I'll be continuing with If Deku Had Chakra Part 4. And might as well just get into it. So last time we left off. Oh damn! I ain't even. oh. Last time we left off, Izuku had finally defeated Aoyama, but Kyoko was injured herself. Basically, after Izuku knocked out Aoyama, he would quickly rush up the steps fully and wrap up Aoyama and capture Tate. Fully securing that he was out of the exercise, I'm pretty sure it was called. But anyway, after Izuku had wrapped up Aoyama, he would quickly turn around and run down the steps to check on Kyoko. Izuku would end up asking Jiro if she was okay, and she would confirm this by telling Izuku that she was fine, but to hurry up and go since they don't have a lot of time left. Izuku also realizing that they don't have a lot of time left, he would also proceed to make a clone for Jiro. The reason that he made a clone for this, as Izuku does not know healing jutsu. He does not know any healing jutsu, or I'm pretty sure it's called like the secret palm technique, the one that Sakura mostly uses whenever she heals somebody, or the healing palm, one of the two. Izuku does not know how to do that, but he does know what healing jutsu are. He just doesn't know how to do any of them. So what he would do, he would just create a clone, focus up his chakra, and focus on sort of like leveling out Kyoko's pain, sort of. That's how Izuku sees it. So he would make a clone to do like some pseudo version of a healing jutsu. For some healing version of a pseudo version of a healing jutsu. But anyway, after this point, Izuku would turn around and begin to run up the steps. But Izuku ended up stopping halfway and turn around to Kyoko, telling her that she needs to plug her earphone jack into the wall and use her communicator to tell her where Katsuki is. Since he and Jiro can't really do that anymore since she's stuck. Kyoko would proceed to stab her earphone jack into the wall and give a thumbs up to Izuku as she would say that she's got this. And Izuku would smile, gives a thumbs up back, and turn around, running up the steps. As he would be running for some period of time, Kyoko would end up telling Izuku that Katsuki is on his way towards him since he can tell that Aoyama is knocked out. Izuku will probably put the pieces together and just assume that Katsuki thought Aoyama. I know that Katsuki probably tried to contact Aoyama, and since there was no answer, he either assumed that they were still fighting or was knocked out. So Katsuki's now on his way. Izuku realizing this will only do one thing, as he would flash through hand signs and clap. He would flash through hand signs and clap his hands together, as he would say, lightning cloak, or basically just focus a lightning chakra around his body. Also, I don't know if I ever specified this in the last part. Izuku's lightning cloak is not the same as the Raikage's. It's similar, but anybody could technically do a lightning cloak. Just the Raikage's is more defensive, similar to Izuku's, yes, but it's not as powerful. The best way to put it, it's not the same. Or shit, basically is. So retcon what I just said. Back to the story though. So Izuku would be while Izuku was running, he would only do one thing and activate his lightning cloak. He would proceed to run faster down the hallway using his silent footsteps to basically try and get a drop on Katsuki. While Izuku was running, he would jump up and start running on top of the ceiling, which would shock everybody in the I guess in the watching room, I think it's the best way to put it, in the watching room, they will all be shocked on, be confused on how Izuku was doing this. While Izuku was running on top of the ceiling, he would basically devise that as soon as Katsuki were to get into his sight, he would release the chakra from his feet, fall down, flip over top of Katsuki, and launch both of his feet on top of Katsuki's head. Basically doing like a drop kick, but standing up. The best way I could think of it, a Ganondorf down air. A Ganondorf dare. Boom. That's the best way to put it. From Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But yeah, just basically releasing himself from the ceiling, flipping, turning around over top of Katsuki, and launch his legs straight down to hit Katsuki on top of his head. While this is happening, while Izuku would think of this plan, Katsuki would quickly get into his sights as Izuku would proceed to execute this almost perfectly. He would end up releasing that chakra from his feet, flipping over top of Katsuki. Katsuki would end up hearing the lightning crackle above him as he would look up, but only last second. Well, actually, no, he would attempt to look up, but at the last second, but Izuku's feet would slam into Katsuki's head, launching his face into the ground, seemingly knocking him out. After this point, Izuku's feet would land only a few inches away from Katsuki's head, almost like stomping his head while he's already down. But it would come close to it, but it wouldn't actually happen. Anyway, Izuku will quickly move away from Katsuki and will quickly move away from Katsuki, jumping back, getting into a stance, seeing if Katsuki is fully awake or not. Izuku will quickly pull out his capture tape and walk towards Katsuki, ready to wrap him up and end the entire thing. Katsuki wouldn't be fully knocked out, or Katsuki would not be fully knocked out, as he would still be in a heavy daze. The first thing that he would realize that Izuku was coming towards him with the capture tape, and the first thing that he would do is he would quickly lift up with one hand and slap the capture tape out of Izuku's hand, and then lift up the other and shoot off a large explosion into Izuku's chest, launching him back some. At this point, Izuku would quickly do a kick flip. I think it's called a kick flip. Yeah, I forgot what it was called. He would just launch himself up while he was on the ground. No, shit, a kickflip's a skateboard thing. Fuck. Izuku would just launch himself back up from the ground, as he would be in a stance. As Katsuki would also stand up, but be shaken back and forth because he's still dazed. So while he's trying to get his bearings, Izuku wouldn't waste any time. Flash through a pair of hand signs, and shoot out a fire bullet jutsu, ready to hit Katsuki. Katsuki only last second again, only barely dodged this as the fire bullet would singe pieces of Katsuki's hair. Izuku would run forward and throw a flying kick at Katsuki. Hitting Katsuki square in the nose. Before Katsuki could fully land on the ground, he would use his explosions to launch back upwards faster than Izuku could realize. And Katsuki would do his famous right hook across Izuku's face. After this point, Katsuki didn't want to let this opportunity go to try and do further damage on Izuku. So he would end up grabbing Izuku's arm with one hand and using explosions to sort of twist himself around, or to spin himself in a circle with high speed, pick up Izuku and slam him into the ground. Katsuki, still not letting go, would pick up Izuku again and launch an explosion into his back, and then proceed to do the spinning attack again, but instead of slamming Izuku into the ground, he would slam him into the wall. while Izuku was sort of imprinted into the wall, Katsuki would bring up his other hand, which he's been using to launch explosions. He would proceed to slap it into Izuku's stomach, launching an explosion. This would severely injure Izuku, but him not wanting to sustain any more damage, after taking the blast to the stomach, would lift up his elbow, slapping Katsuki right in the nose. After that, throwing a quick flurry of punches and kicks to Katsuki's chest and legs. This would end up making Katsuki stumble back as he would be in an immense amount of pain. Izuku would rush forward, throwing a high kick at Katsuki. No, Izuku would rush forward to Katsuki, almost stupid-like, if that's the best way to put it, as Katsuki would just thrust his palm forward, launching an explosion. But as soon as he would do this, it would seem like Izuku would disappear. As everybody that would be watching, including Katsuki, would be confused, as Izuku would be right under Katsuki, in the stance that Rock Lee was, with one leg planted to the ground, one arm completely free, and a leg lifted up to kick Katsuki right in the chin, which Izuku would do, as he would kick the dog shit out of Katsuki's chin, launching him into the air, making the top of Katsuki's head slam into the ceiling. And before Katsuki could fully land back on the ground, Izuku would do like sort of a spinning, would sort of like bring down his leg and then use the arm and legs that he has on the ground to spin himself around and do sort of like a spinning high kick. So Katsuki would be falling towards the ground. Izuku would do a spinning kick on the ground, or a sweeping kick, but he would bring up his leg to kick Katsuki in the face midair, as Katsuki's entire body would slam into the wall. Anyway, damn, had to fix myself real quick. As Katsuki's entire body would slam into the wall, Katsuki would be in a daze, as he wouldn't even be able to like really process what the hell is going on, because Izuku is now just dominating him. He's beating him like he's beating his ass. I forgot all the winjutsu I gave Izuku though. I know that I gave him breakthrough, wind bullet. I think I gave him Gale Palm. I'm gonna give him some other winjutsu later. But anyway, Katsuki would try to get up, and him really not knowing what else to do, would just simply launch a palm forward to try and hit Izuku. Izuku would launch his own palm forward at the same hand as Katsuki's, but he would end up using Gale Palm and put a plethora of chakra into it, as he would thrust his palm forward, doing something like a what is that move that the Hyugas got? The air palm. As Izuku would basically end up doing an air palm, completely dissipating Katsuki's explosion, launching his hand back, slamming it into the wall, as the gust of wind would slam into Katsuki's chest along with Izuku's palm. Katsuki, or Bakugo, would honestly not know what to do, as he is entirely cornered. As he will fall to his knees. Izuku would take two steps back from Katsuki, and would simply look down at him and tell him to surrender. Katsuki, hearing these words, would get pissed off, thinking that Izuku has the right at all to even tell him to surrender, as he would still see himself superior to Izuku, even though he's in this kind of state. As Katsuki would get a frustrated look on his face, as he would tell Izuku, as he would look up at Izuku and tell him, just because you got a few lucky hits in doesn't mean that you've already won the match. uh, as one of Katsuki's gauntlets would glow yellow. I mean, no, orange, reddish. As one of them would glow orange, reddish. Since Izuku took some steps back, Katsuki would outstretch his palm towards the ground and shoot off a very large explosion. Not the gauntlet explosion, just a really large one. To sort of like launch it at Izuku, sort of from the ground, as this plan would work, as Izuku would get singed. Backing up some. Katsuki would quickly try to get up. But him still being dazed, he would get up too fast as all the blood would rush out of his head as he would sort of begin to wobble. But fighting through this, would proceed to bring up his hands, slapping Izuku with an explosion across his face. Yeah, slapping Izuku with it. Actually, no. I would say just like a right hook. Yeah, just his basic right hook as he would slam it into Izuku's sort of like elbow joint area, as Izuku's arm would proceed to get sprained as it would be in immense pain. After that, Katsuki would basically grab Izuku by his arm, which Katsuki just hit. Would grab him by his arm, punch him in the face, punch him square dead in the face, and after that, put an explosion to his sort of midsection, like the spot where his stomach and chest meet, and launch off a giant explosion, singeing Izuku's hero suit. As Izuku would get sent down the hall. Would get sent down the entire hall. The only reason why Izuku isn't either dead or in severe injury is because of his chakra, as he would use it as sort of like a defense, like how most people do it, or an enhancement, better to say. But anyway, Izuku would slowly get up as Katsuki would be walking to Izuku. As soon as this would happen, Katsuki's other gauntlet would proceed to glow as he would look at Izuku and proceed to explain his gauntlets. As he would proceed to say, I'm pretty sure you already know how my quirk works. I sweat nitroglycerin, which causes me to do explosions. These gauntlets hold all of my sweat, so I can do one large attack all at once. As Katsuki will pull back the sort of handle thing, as Katsuki will pull back the piece of his gauntlet, and as a pen would be exposed. And Izuku, and not Izuku, as Katsuki would do this for the other gauntlet as well. Katsuki would look at Izuku with a devious smile, and would proceed to say, So what do you think would happen to you if you were to get hit by this attack? How about we test fire and fire, huh? As Katsuki would lift up one of the gauntlets and put a finger through a pen. As Katsuki would look at Izuku and yell at him would yell, what is it? Die, but no, yeah, he would yell at him to die, but what is it? Ain't it like Shine? Yeah, yep, Shine. But no, he would yell out die at Izuku as he would pull the pin. Izuku being shocked and not really knowing what to do. His first initial instinct is to just put up his arms, but as soon as he did this, he would hear Kyoko yelling through the calls for Izuku to get out the way. As she would hear the explosion through the walls before it even fully reached Izuku. So Izuku would end up basically just, as Izuku would end up using activating his lightning cloak, jumping into the air, and kicking in the ceiling. Yeah, he would jump up into the air, kick in the ceiling, and then get over top of the explosion. And would end up getting over top, through the other floor, and would get over top of the explosion. As Katsuki would realize this, as he would pull the pin on the other gauntlet, as Izuku didn't expect Katsuki to immediately launch another one, because Katsuki usually like. He would save it, but now he's angry. He's pissed off. So he's trying to get rid of Izuku completely. He's trying to get him out the fight. So anyway, Izuku would get completely hit by the blast through the floor as it would break through the floor of the bottom level, and as it would hit Izuku, launching him further down the hallway and also smacking him atop the ceiling. As Izuku would sort of get launched into the air, smack the ceiling, and go down the hallway, he would land flat on the floor that would be above Katsuki. Katsuki would launch his explosions to get up to Izuku's level and slowly walk over to him. Izuku, being severely injured in this situation, wouldn't really know what to do. He's too injured to do anything right now, and Katsuki's somehow still up. Katsuki would be wobbling while walking over to Izuku, as Izuku has done a plethora of damage to his senses. So Izuku, realizing that he's done damage to his senses, Izuku would slowly get up. Realizing that Katsuki is very tired, and also thinking that if Katsuki launched off explosions of that caliber, then his arms also have to be injured as well. And since he's already injured, so that means his arms are probably more injured than they will already be. So Izuku will only do one thing. He would flash through a pair of hand signs, causing lightning to appear into his hand, as he would reel back his hand and throw out 3 bolts of lightning. Lightning, as he would yell out, lightning triplets. As Katsuki would be shocked as he would lift up his palms to do an explosion. As two other triplets on the right and left side would be going faster. As the one behind both of them would be going slower, but would still have the same power. So Katsuki will put up one of his hands to he would put up both of his hands. My bad. Put up both of his hands to shoot off explosion from each hand to annihilate the electricity. But this wound up causing Katsuki's shoulders not wince in pain, to just burst out in pain, as Katsuki's arms will fall down as he will wince in pain, falling on one, as he will wince in pain and back up. Katsuki will only look up to see another flash of blue as it would hit him right in the chest. As this lightning bolt would hit Katsuki in the chest, Katsuki would launch back to the ground. As soon as this would happen, Izuku would put up the cross hand seal to summon a bunch of clones, to summon like 5 clones, as they will all begin to rush towards Katsuki. Katsuki slightly looking up and seeing it. Katsuki would look up to see this, as the only reason why Izuku summoned so many clones is just assure that not only he knocked out, but also put the capture tape on Katsuki. So one of these Izukus would jump at Katsuki with So one of these Izukus would jump out at Katsuki, pulling out some extra capture tape that Izuku got from Jiro since she was injured. So Izuku just took it, as he would get some extra capture tape from her, as he would pull it out and attempt to wrap up Katsuki. Katsuki would end up lifting up both of his legs to sort of stop Izuku from coming, as he would put them out on Izuku's chest, grab the clone Izuku by his arms and lift him backwards and kick him off of him. As that Izuku ended up going back. But either way, it was sort of realish fake capture tape, so either way, it would have all worked. It was sick. So the five Izukus now would all have their capture tape out, ready to either knock out or capture Katsuki. As the real Izuku would just tell them all just to knock him out. As they were all let go, as they were all just simply just drop the capture tape on the ground, put up their hands and get ready to fight. Katsuki knowing this is a loss, but not wanting to accept it because he's always seen himself as superior to Izuku. Since, Izuku's been quirkless, but now he suddenly has a quirk. So Katsuki, getting pissed off at this, just yell at Izuku. Throughout all his life, he's never had a quirk. Through all his life, but now he does this, and now he's on his level. Who does he think that he is to try and give people orders, or to try and give his clone orders to say that they could knock him out? Izuku was sort of, the best way to put it is like, just simply explain to Katsuki that this is a loss for him. I think that I'm Izuku Midoriya, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win. Katsuki, this is just a loss. There's nothing that you can do against all of us. Katsuki, hearing this out loud, would get pissed off. Nothing I can do? Well, what do you say about this? As Katsuki would reel back his hand, pushing his palm forward, launching off a large explosion at the ground. As the ground and the debris would up launching up to sort of blind all of them. Easy. So now it's just smoke so it's not just smoke in front of them. The clones would be disoriented as they would simply just put up their guard. As one of them was my bad. Retcon a little bit. Katsuki was still launching up smoke, and as the smoke would end up getting launched into their face, the clones would begin coughing, and so would the real Izuku. As they're all coughing, Izuku would attempt to tell them to put up their guards. But as soon as this would happen, they would hear a large thud and a crack as one of the clones, as they would also end up hearing a poof afterwards. After that, another one. After another sounds similar. Then another, until all 5 clones are taken out. Izuku realized what's about to happen to him. Izuku not realizing anything. Izuku knows that the Katsuki is coming for him and doesn't really know what to do. The best thing that he does is just sense for Katsuki, which is still hard to do since he's so disoriented. As Izuku is sensing, he will only sense last second that Katsuki is swinging towards him as he will put up his guard. In sort of like an X shape with his arms, as Katsuki would swing at his arms, knocking him over to the wall. Izuku would simply just jump out of the smoke immediately as soon as he got smacked against the wall. Izuku would jump out of the smoke, rolling sort of like in a Dark Souls type way, and would end up sort of springing up after he rolled in a full succession, and would be staring down at the smoke. As Katsuki would move his hand throughout the smoke, pushing it all away from him. What happened to you winning? And what happened to you winning, loser? What happened to... Well, no, he would say something like that. He would say something, what happened to you winning, loser? Look at you now, backed into a corner. Izuku would just simply smile. Izuku would just simply smile as he would say that, no, Katsuki is the one that's in a corner. As Katsuki would hear... hear a lot... No. As the... Damn! My bad. The Izuku in front of Katsuki would end up poofing into smoke as Katsuki would hear lightning or hear the crackle of electricity behind him, as the real Izuku would have his arm glowing a bright blue and sparking with electricity, as Izuku would yell out, lightning style, lariat, as Izuku would thrust his fist forward like a javelin, smacking across, smacking across Katsuki's face. But Izuku wouldn't let up, just letting Katsuki launch away. As Izuku would sort of bring his fist downwards, like with Katsuki's face, slamming Katsuki's head into the ground with Izuku's fist still imprinted onto him. So then fire, boot, boom. So basically like the United States of Smash that All Might did. But anyway, After this would happen, Kazuki and Izuku Katsuki would be completely knocked out on the ground. As Izuku will only lift up his arm, as through the announcement they were all here. Hero team wins. Of course, I'm pretty sure it was like medical robots or actual like people. Either way, they would get Kazuki and Izuku and take them to the infirmary, as they would also get Kyoko and Aoyama. They would get all of them and take them to the infirmary. All the other fights would happen, as they would all pretty much go the same. As I don't really think there's much else I could just go over it. Yes, actually there is something I can go over. No. Yep. So basically, there's something I can go over. So basically, during the time after this point, after Izuku gets out the hospital, he wouldn't really say anything to Katsuki, since Izuku doesn't really hold that high of respect for Katsuki anymore. Not because of the fact that he beat him, just because of the fact that Katsuki's a bully and he wants nothing to do with Katsuki, sort of. Like, if Katsuki changed back to his old ways, yeah, Izuku's gonna be his friend, but until then, nah. I'm not messing with Katsuki. So Izuku, during the time before the USJ, he would mostly spend his time just hanging out with his friends and mostly training with Ma and Pa. Izuku ended up asking Ma and Pa if they could teach him any healing jutsu, because when Kyoko was injured, he couldn't do anything besides just give her chakra to only just sustain her injuries. So he would ask Ma and Pa if they could teach him how to do jutsu, healing jutsu. Ma and Pa would teach Izuku the basic healing jutsu, as they would teach him how to use his chakra to do healing jutsu. He would basically go through the same training as Sakura for like only around 5, 6, almost an entire week. I would say around 6 days. It would be 6 days of just Ma and Pa teaching Izuku on how to do healing jutsu. And after some time, Izuku would easily learn how to do a healing or do like the healing palm technique. Actually, no. It took Sakura like some time to do it, but like at the same time, Sadara, which is only like 12, basically did that in like less than a day. She did it. She did the thing that most people in their class couldn't with healing jutsu. So, yeah, pretty sure Izuku could do it in around 6 days. Not master it, but he could definitely complete it. So that's where I'm going to leave it off. Next time I'm going to go with the USJ. Hope you all have a nice day. AG the one signing out. Hope, like, subscribe. See you all later.